On February 14, 2025, a drone strike hit the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant, marking a dangerous escalation in the Russia-Ukraine war. Stay tuned for the full story. On February 14, 2025, global security was once again shaken by a shocking attack, an armed drone strike targeting the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant in Ukraine. This unprecedented act has reignited fears surrounding the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict and its far-reaching implications for international peace and nuclear safety. In the early hours of February 14, a drone armed with a high-explosive warhead struck the new safe confinement structure at the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant. This protective structure, built to contain the radioactive remnants of 1986 Chernobyl disaster, sustained a breach in its protective shell. The strike also triggered a fire, which Ukrainian emergency services managed to extinguish swiftly. While no immediate rise in radiation levels was reported, the attack compromised the integrity of a facility designed to prevent further contamination of the already fragile region. Ukrainian authorities have labeled this as a blatant act of aggression, further escalating the conflict's stakes. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky quickly condemned the attack, attributing it to Russian forces. Through social media, Zelensky shared footage capturing the moment of impact, a flash of light followed by a column of smoke rising from the site. While the Ukrainian government maintained that radiation levels remained within safe limits, officials warned that the damage to the structure was significant. Conversely, the Kremlin denied any involvement, dismissing Ukraine's claims as an attempt to derail ongoing peace negotiations. This conflicting narrative has only deepened global concerns about the war's direction and the potential for further escalation. The international community reacted with swift condemnation and heightened alarm. The International Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA) confirmed that radiation levels remain stable but underscored the grave risks associated with attacks on nuclear facilities. At the Munich Security Conference, world leaders urgently discussed the attack's implications, with many calling for intensified pressure on Russia. Several NATO allies reiterated their commitment to supporting Ukraine, warning that targeting nuclear infrastructure is a red line that could have catastrophic consequences. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant remains one of the world's most infamous nuclear disaster sites. The explosion and subsequent fallout devastated large parts of Ukraine, Belarus, and beyond, rendering vast swaths of land uninhabitable for generations. In 2016, the new safe confinement structure was completed as a feat of engineering designed to contain the remaining radioactive material and prevent further contamination. The drone strike on this vital facility has reawakened anxieties about nuclear safety, highlighting the devastating consequences of military actions near such fragile sites. This attack is a stark indication of how modern warfare has evolved. Drones, once used primarily for surveillance, are now capable of executing precision strikes on critical infrastructure. Their use in the Ukraine conflict has steadily increased, but the targeting of a nuclear facility represents a dangerous new precedent. The attack raises pressing questions about the security of nuclear sites worldwide. If Chernobyl, one of the most monitored and historically significant locations, is vulnerable, then other nuclear plants, both in Ukraine and beyond, could also become potential targets. This incident demonstrates that infrastructure, once thought untouchable due to the catastrophic risks involved, is now fair game in modern conflicts. In conclusion, the drone strike on the Chernobyl nuclear power plant is more than just another attack in the ongoing war. It is a dire warning of the stakes involved. The global community cannot afford to overlook the implications of such assaults on nuclear facilities. To prevent further escalation, world leaders must take decisive action. This includes increasing support for Ukraine, implementing stricter sanctions against aggressors, and reinforcing the security of nuclear sites worldwide. Diplomacy must also be prioritized to prevent this war from spiraling into an even more catastrophic crisis. The world must stand united in condemning such reckless acts and work towards a peaceful resolution. The risks posed by continued attacks on nuclear infrastructure are too great to ignore, and failure to act could lead to consequences far graver than those we have seen so far.